Hello everyone, my name is Julian. I'm here to do an album review. This time is Red. Released to Panic, came out February 4th. There is a deluxe version that comes with 3 tracks that I want to talk about. Um, they're a Christian rock band, and their last album was Until We Have Faces, which I also reviewed. You should check that out. One thing I do want to say before I get started is that this review might feel familiar to the previous Red review I did because they really haven't reinvented the wheel here, and the score is going to diminish every time they release an album that feels familiar. They do some new things that kind of save it from like just dropping, tremendously. And in no way I'm a hater of Red. I love Red and I love this album and I love previous albums, but when it doesn't do anything new, it's just like, oh hey, Red came up with a lot of familiar songs again. So let's get started. The first thing I caught from listening to the first track or the first couple of tracks is that this album could be perfect soundtrack for like an underdog fighting movie. And if you're into that shit, like 12 Stones, Papa Roach, that kind of shit, they have this fighting vibe. If you like that kind of music, if you like fighting Stones, 12 Stones and Papa Roach, Red is like another kind of go-to. Red is a little bit heavier in some points, but other than that, they feel the same. The only thing that separates them is vocals, all right? Red is a Christian band, though, and so I know previously they've implemented some lyrics that are a little bit more broad and it kind of reflects the fact that they're Christian, but recently they've kind of been tailoring their music to kind of be for everybody. It doesn't alienate the non-Christians. And none of the lyrics really tell you, hey, this is about God in some situations, like they used to before. So it's really good. The lyrics, though, here's the big part. If you're a fan of repetitive lyrics, then this is the album for you. Red repeats lyrics like, man, this is insane. Like, all the songs repeat and repeat. And I know it's a strategy, but I feel like you should have that one song or those couple songs that, yeah, they're meant for the radio, and then the other ones kind of be, different. But almost all songs kind of follow the same formula, and eventually it just gets repetitive and annoying, which leads to the fact that you might not be able to tell when one song starts and the other one ends, or one ends and the other one starts. Um, so you keep that in mind. But one thing I did notice was they were going a little bit heavier. Yeah, the lyrics are more repetitive to make it more catchy, and it feels like something that would go in a great fighting movie. Um, but they're also implementing some instrumental industrial sounds. All right, they're adding some electronic sounds here and there, and they're adding industrial sounds like Marilyn Manson, Rammstein, Rob Zombie kind of shit. But what is the difference between all of them and other heavy metal bands that implement industrial music? Well, the vocals are very deep and manly or fucked up or evil in a certain way, and that's not Red's forte or the singer of Red. Now, he doesn't sing or try to sing in those low vocals. He mixes that industrial sound with his voice. And sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't, but it's not long enough in a song that you're like, damn, stop. It's the beginning and then it goes back to that uplifting chorus. And that style and like theme in music that goes from like this heavy verse to this powerful uplifting chorus is one of my favorite things to hear. But again, they repeat it so much, it just becomes a little bit annoying. Um, the bonus tracks that are present are dubstep tracks. Now, I know they're a remix of some other artist, but in my opinion, I like dubstep. I don't love dubstep. I like dubstep. And they mixed it very fucking well. Like, they did a nice remix. I would listen to that shit in the car, and I actually put all 3 remixes in my car, and I think they're the better tracks of the album, which is kind of sad to say. But if you're not a fan of dubstep, well, ignore the deluxe edition. So yeah, you can see they're trying to hit that mainstream. They're trying to really reach out and impress people. And in my opinion, I feel like artists and bands should do what they love. But there's also that money issue, and I'm not gonna get into that. But some bands do have to try to make music and try to prove themselves to a mainstream audience. And I feel like Red doing this dubstep remix is kind of them showing that, which is it's fine. I mean, you do what you have to do. The music is not bad. I don't hate any of the tracks. They have obviously the slow tracks in the middle of the song, towards the beginning, and then you have your breaks. It's nicely paced. It's not too long and it's not too short. I think this album is a little bit better than Until We Have Faces at certain points. Obviously, Until We Have Faces had more of a catchier, fresher sound than this one because it came first. And same with the first album Red put out, which was End of Silence. But you can see the modern twist. It's a little bit different in its own ways, and it just it's good, but it's not good enough to give it a surpassing score than Until We Have Faces. I don't know if what I'm saying makes any sense, but Red needs to try to change the style a little bit, at least a little bit more than what they're doing. They're doing good, but it's not enough. They need to try to make less of a repetitive song because that does get in the way, you know. I know as a single it wouldn't, but when you listen to the whole album, it's like that, and it's very annoying. But yeah, if they could fix that, if you're listening to this, your vocals are great, your music is great, your solos are great, but I mean overall it just feels like one big lake of the same shit. So anyway, I'm not gonna continue this review. That's my opinion on this new album. I give it a 6 out of 10. Not bad. I don't hate any of the songs. I love them all. As singles, they were working. As listening to shuffling kind of shit, that works. All right. And overall, that's all I have to say. There it is, 6 out of 10. Thanks for watching, guys, and stay tuned.